Yo, what's gonna be? Welcome back to the video. In this video, I am gonna be reacting to his story. So he's been popping up lately. I've been hearing that. Like he's literally on my For You page. So now I will be reacting to him. So let's go. This is my first ever reaction video. So let's just go. His story, yeah, it's always there. Let's go. I'm subscribed to him too. I've only watched like 2 of his shorts though. Okay, he uploads long form videos too. Damn, 33.6 million views. Shorts. We're gonna watch his 3 most latest. Okay, 3 most oldest and 5 of the top most popular. So let's go. Damn.
My mom.
Okay, when was this uploaded? 51 minutes ago, and it already has 100,000 views. Damn.
My friend walked into my room. We're going out. We'll be back at 3 a.m. We trust you.
Okay.
After 3 hours went by, I felt extremely lonely. So I went to grab my Woody cowboy toy when suddenly he stood up and waved. Howdy, partner.
What?
My entire body completely
Okay,
froze
this
up.
is a
What is
Toy
going
Story.
on? And suddenly, every toy in the toy box stood up and climbed out towards me. Peppa Pig
This
and
is
George,
literally Toy
SpongeBob,
Story.
Patrick, Sandy Cheeks, and Buzz Lightyear. They hit the floor running, and I slid off my bed into the middle of them, laughing so hard I covered
Whoa.
my mouth. This is insane. Is this real, or am
Okay,
I
this is
dreaming?
kinda
SpongeBob
insane.
laughed. We're as real as the Krabby Patty formula. Tell us what you want us to do. We're here until the end of the night. I tilted
Whoa.
my head. What happens after
This
that?
definitely
Sandy jumped.
must be a
No
dream.
time to explain. Just tell us what you want. 6-year-old me stood up, not questioning the logic. Dance off. Girls versus boys.
Whoa.
They separated to dance, and I pointed at Patrick. Do the robot. He completely stiffened himself and started doing the robot.
Okay,
like a
what's
pro,
Patrick
while
gonna
Buzz
do?
Lightyear beatboxed. I clapped and laughed hysterically like it was the best night of my life, because it was. Perfect!
Damn.
And when we heard the car in the driveway, all of us froze because the night was over, and I had no idea what would happen next. The front door
Okay.
opened, and Woody put his hand on my leg. You won't see us again, he said, but I
Damn.
hope we kept you company. My mom
This is, like,
started
good.
walking
I'm
up
gonna
the
be
stairs,
rating
and all
all
the
of it,
toys
and
flopped
then
over.
keep
When she
on
opened the
top
door,
of the
she
show.
flipped on the light and rubbed her face at the mess. What did you do in here? Clean it up and go to bed. When she left, I picked Woody up and waited for him to lift his arm. He stared up at the ceiling, stuffed and still. I held him against my chest anyway and turned off the light.
Okay.
My mom and her boyfriend
I'm gonna
walked
be
into my
rating
room.
that a solid 8 out of 10. That was good. I like that one.
I stared down the range at the target with my hands shaking, because if this arrow didn't hit a bullseye, my cousin was getting his face kicked in.
What?
Billy had cornered us behind the archery shed with his
Yeah, your
entire
cousin
gang
is
around
dead.
him, and the
Also,
counselors
wait a
were across
second.
behind the archery shed
Wait,
with his
go
entire. I
back, go
stared
back.
down the range at the target with my hands shaking, because
Your-
if this arrow
wait.
didn't hit a bullseye, my cousin was getting his
Your cousin is chubby. Okay, it's like
face
it's his
kicked in.
piggy,
Billy
bro.
had cornered us behind the archery shed with
Who
his
are these people? These people, I got 4v1 and they're like so not tough.
entire gang around him, and the counselors were across the field setting up dinner tables.
Wait a second. Why is there a beach in the distance? There's like a beach in the distance. Never mind.
Eric stood behind me with the word piggy still drying in black
Okay.
Sharpie across his
That's
forehead.
kinda
Billy
deserved,
stepped
not
up,
gonna
grinning,
lie.
and put his arm on my shoulder. I win every medal at this camp every year.
Yeah,
I shoved
of
his
course
arm
you do,
off.
buddy.
If you hit a bullseye, you leave Eric alone for the rest of camp. If I hit one, you do whatever you want. Billy laughed and grabbed a bow off the rack.
Okay.
Deal. He pulled back the string
This Billy
smooth like
guy's
he'd
a
done it
jerk.
1,000 times and let the arrow fly. It landed an inch outside the bullseye, and his gang erupted behind him. Billy turned to me with that same grin and held the bow out. Your turn, tough guy. I took the bow with my hands, sweating so bad I could barely grip it, lined up the arrow, and started pulling back the string. That's when one of Billy's friends drove his foot into my ribs from the side. I hit the dirt hard, and the
damn.
bow flew out of my hands. Billy picked it up,
Is
walked
that-
over to Eric, and shoved the bow into his
my
chest.
God.
Change of plans. If Eric wants to be left alone, Eric takes the shot. Eric raised the bow with both arms, shaking so
Eric,
hard the
okay.
arrow was bouncing up and down. Billy laughed from a few feet away. Just let it go, piggy. We're all waiting. Eric closed his eyes and
Eric,
let
you're
go.
good.
The arrow hit the target with a thud that everyone
Oh,
heard. Bullseye. The whole crowd
Eric.
went silent for a second and then exploded.
Eric's a
Even some of
prodigy.
Billy's own friends were yelling. Billy's grin dropped off his face. He marched straight at Eric and shoved him backward into the mud patch behind the
What?
target. minutes. Stay in the mud where you belong, pig. Nobody cheered. A kid in the back of the crowd said, "Dude, he beat you." Billy whipped around.
Okay.
"Shut up. Nobody asked you." But the rest of the campers were already
Damn.
pulling out their phones, and
Yes.
his own friends had stepped back from him.
This
Billy backed
Billy
away
guy's
and tripped into the
terrible
same mud
jerk,
patch.
yeah.
Eric pushed himself up, walked over, and picked the bow up off the ground. He looked down
Shoot it
Billy
at
with the
him.
Sharpie on his forehead running down his face from the sweat. "I think you look better in the mud." I stared down the range.
W. Your cousin's not a chubby guy anymore.
I was helping the captain steer the Titanic ship in the year 1912 when the
Wha-
lookout on deck screamed, "Iceberg right ahead." I immediately moved my elbows to the left
Yeah,
to
you're
steer
not
the
the
ship in a different
Titanic
direction,
captain,
but
my
the captain
guy.
grabbed me. "Don't stop. We're due to arrive in New York tomorrow morning, and we're the unsinkable ship. Unsinkable ships don't stop for obstacles." 10 minutes later, we heard a crunching sound on the side of the boat.
Oh,
I
he's
turned to the
good.
captain. "We need to make the distress call to every ship in range." He crossed his arms. "Absolutely not. We will pump the ship out
my
and we'll be
God,
okay.
is this
I am not
Eric
wiring the world that the
Badoli? That's
unsinkable ship
stubborn.
stopped for a scratch." Sweat dripped down my forehead because I knew I had a decision to make. I burst into the wire room where we communicated to emergency services through Morse code. "Send the SOS to every ship nearby." The captain immediately grabbed me. "I will have your stripes for this. Everyone will know you
Whoa.
let me down." I grabbed my hand back.
Damn,
"You
this
can have them
captain's
tomorrow morning after I'm done
not
making
good
sure everyone on this
old.
ship survives."
This guy
Within
should
the
be
hour, the sea came
experienced.
over the bow rail and the deck tilted until deck chairs slid straight into the ocean.
Oh.
My hands were shaking as I swung
Yeah,
women
he's
and
good.
children into the boats. And at 12:30 midnight, the captain finally started panicking. He ordered the live music orchestra to keep playing music until everyone was in the safety boats. I was planning on staying on
Yeah,
the ship
that's
with him,
good.
but the last boat needed an officer at the oars, so I went down hating every rung. From the water, we watched her lights go out row by row. The last time I saw my captain, he was at the wheel that he never let me turn. She went under at 2:20 a.m. and took him with her. 1,500 people froze around us because he would not lose an hour. The sun came up right on schedule, and it was the only thing that did. I was helping the captain steer the Titanic ship. I set my phone to record and walked into the abandoned house. My best friend Jay was standing in the driveway with our emergency gear, including a rope, flashlight, and first aid, by his feet. "You got this. The challenge is only 10 minutes. I nodded as I squeezed between two boards nailed to the front window. I was going to complete the spook challenge and stay in the
Okay,
haunted
the
house for
spook
10
challenge.
minutes, post the video, and
Whatever
get the
that
YouTube
is.
hype I've been working for.
AI,
I took a deep breath and nodded as I looked around. Spook challenge and front window. I was going to complete the spook challenge
That's
and
AI.
stay in the haunted house for 10 minutes, post the
Yeah,
video,
what
and get
is
the
that?
YouTube hype I've been
What
working
is that? Thanks for joining, everyone. Super excited to share tonight. And damn, yes, 100 people watching. That's 112 minutes, as I can see.
for. I took a deep breath and nodded as I looked around. 3 years of trying to get my
Yes,
channel
that's his
noticed
name.
so I could show
Yes.
my dad it wasn't a stupid hobby, like he always yelled at me when I wasn't doing whatever he wanted me to do. I waved cobwebs out of my way and walked to what looked like an old living room and sat down. I switched the phone camera to face me. "What's up, gang? Today, I stopped when I heard a cracking noise below me. That was
Yeah,
when the
if I was you,
floorboards
I
I
would
was sitting
probably
on
move
caved
to
in. I
different
reached
planet.
out, digging my nails into the floor. My body was now half dangling through the hole,
Oh,
and my phone fell into the basement with a
Oh,
thud.
no.
I kicked, but there was nothing for me to push against. I screamed, "Jay, help!" My eyes locked on the window I used to get in, but Jay wasn't there. Could he not hear me?
Yeah,
My
Jay
hands
is
slipped.
not
If I
helping
couldn't
you.
go up, then I had to try jumping down. I inched my body into the hole and was soon dangling with
You're
just my
good, bro. All
hands
this
holding
for
onto the
content.
edges. I looked down, but
I
it was
gotta
too dark to
respect
see
that,
anything except for a
but
pointy,
now-
splintered board. I couldn't even see where my phone landed. I heard footsteps coming towards the hole, and I screamed again. I heard a loud crunch, and the emergency flashlight flew by my ear. Did Jay fall in too? I looked down and saw that the flashlight revealed several rats crawling on the floor below. I heard more cracking and looked up to see that the floorboard I was holding onto was bending. I screamed as loud as I could. A thick rope rolled down into the hole next
Get
to me.
in that
I swung
rope!
over to it and grabbed
Run!
the rope. I could hear grunting above me, and soon I was crawling on the first floor
Yes.
again, looking up at
W.
Jay. His eyes were huge as he looked down at me. When I tried to get to you, my foot went right through the floor, and the flashlight went flying. He froze when more boards crackled. We both ran out of the house and only stopped at the end of the driveway to look at the rope burn on our hands. Jay pulled out his phone. Well, at least we set up the video to automatically send to your channel. I let him watch it as I lay back with my hand on my chest, heart beating like crazy. He shook my shoulder. "Dude, the floorboards below you were sticking up. If you fell, you would have been impaled on video." I looked at the phone, and for a split second, I wondered how many views that would have gotten. I set my phone
Damn.
to record and
Okay, that's gonna be it for the latest category. Now let's go to the popular ones. This is what I'm gonna enjoy. Okay, I'm gonna watch 5 of the popular ones.
my twin brother
Okay, wait,
Chris
when was this released? There's a part 2? As I can see that, yeah, I'm gonna watch the part 2 one too. Okay, this was uploaded on 13th April. Wait, is this real? This story may be based on real events, but all names, details, and identifying information have been changed or fictionalized. Damn, so this actually might be real. Wow.
and I were 9 when we learned Morse.
Like
My
what?
twin brother Chris and I were 9 when we learned Morse code. We
That's an
tapped
insane
messages
thing to
under
do at 9 years old. When I was 9 years old, I was playing Roblox.
the dinner
And these
table
people
when
are
Mom
learning
told us
Morse
to stop
code.
talking and tapped through the wall between our bedrooms every night. When Chris got into a car accident,
Wait a second. Isn't Chris the bully who the guy had? Yeah, I don't even know about that.
the doctor said he'd never wake up. I pulled up a chair next to his bed, took his hand, and tapped. Are you there? Nothing. But I came back the next afternoon and
Hey.
tapped again. Before I left, I always said the same thing. See you tomorrow, Chris. A week
See
later,
ya.
Chris's fingers twitched against mine, and I almost fell out of
Oh,
my
that's
chair.
r-
I grabbed a
that's
nurse, and she
reflexes.
barely looked up. They're reflexes.
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! See, I'm a smart 10-year-old. See, it's reflexes, bro. It's reflexes. It's insane reflexes.
Mean anything. I bought a notebook the next day and started writing down every single one. 4 months in, Mom watched me scribbling and said, "How long are you gonna keep doing this? Until he taps back." He's not gonna tap back. You're talking to a corpse. Dad lasted a few more months before he pulled me into the hallway. We need to talk about donating your brother's organs.
What?
His fingers
Donating the brother's organs? Crazy parents, you want money?
move every time I hold his hand, Dad. The nurses said those are
wanna have a
reflexes.
proper
Stop getting your
funeral
hopes up,
for your
son. I don't care what the
son,
nurses say.
then.
You're not donating my brother's organs.
Yes,
But a
good,
week
good,
later,
good.
my parents called to have Chris transferred to a long-term facility to die
Long-term
and scheduled a
facility
meeting to
to
sign the
die.
papers. The afternoon before the meeting,
Oh my
I
God,
tapped
this
into
is
his
wild.
palm like always, but this time, something tapped back. Short, short, short. Long, long, long. Short, short, short.
SOS.
SOS.
Yes,
I
help
grabbed
him.
his hand. Chris,
Help
if
him.
that's you, squeeze once. He squeezed so hard my knuckles
Yes.
cracked. I stormed into the meeting room and told them my brother just responded to me. The caseworker said, "This is very common with families who aren't ready to let go." My parents nodded. I grabbed the transfer papers off the table. "You're not signing anything until you come see for yourself." I walked them to Chris's bed and grabbed his hand. "Ask him anything." The caseworker asked what year it was. Chris squeezed out the answer. Count to 5. 5 perfect squeezes. His mother's name, tapped out letter by letter. By the 10th question, she said, "He's still alive. We can't move him." Weeks
Hey,
later,
of course
I
you
asked
can't
Chris
move
what
him.
kept him fighting when everyone gave up. Heard Mom call me a corpse. Heard Dad say donate my organs. Heard all of them leave, except you. I asked
Yes,
why.
sir.
I wanted to see you too.
This is
My twin
sad.
brother.
Okay, let's watch part 2 now. This is gonna be good.
The second my mom pulled up to
Yeah, this is good.
my school, I saw she was mad. And as soon as I opened the car door, she held up my report card. "Are you kidding me? Not a single A on here." I tried to tell her I was sorry. I tried my best. She threw it at me. "Maybe if you
Wait, let
didn't
me
stay
see
up
his
all..."
grades. What did he
I
have?
saw she was mad. And as soon as I opened the car
What's her
door,
grades?
she held up my report card. "Are you
Okay. Mathematics C. That's okay, I guess. Science C minus. That's pretty good. English language arts B minus. Social studies C minus. Reading literature C. Human and PE D plus. Damn. I don't think Chris plays sports. Band B minus. Okay. That's not so bad. That's not bad.
kidding me? Not a single A on here. I tried to tell her I was sorry. I tried my best. She threw it at me. Maybe
That's
if
so
you didn't
bad.
stay up all night tapping that dumb secret code on
Oh,
your
I know what's
brother's
gonna
wall.
happen. I bet they're gonna get in a car accident, and that's how the guy, got in the coma.
You'd actually be able to focus. I felt my heart beating. I pulled out my phone to text my brother. "Mom's really mad. I think she might," but she grabbed it from my hand. Always on this stupid phone too. I could see her face turning red. But when I looked forward, "Mom, watch out." She saw the car too and screamed. It smashed right into us. Glass was everywhere and I hit my head. I didn't know where it
Wait a second. What type of
was everywhere and I Hit my head. I didn't know where I was. I tried to open my eyes, but nothing was moving. Then I heard someone. Listen, kid, he's never gonna wake up. No, please, he has to. It was my brother. I tried moving my hands, screaming. Nothing worked. But then, someone tapped my hand. I instantly recognized it. Chris, are you there? I squeezed my hand as hard as I could, but it didn't move. But he stood up. See you tomorrow, Chris. I felt a tear roll down my cheek. Someone else came in. We should just pull the plug. I'm not paying for a vegetable. We'll get more money from donating anyways. It was my mom. She was talking about selling me, but I was still here. Jay came back, tapping about his day. I knew I had to warn him. I squeezed my arm. It felt like concrete. Please, anything. They'll kill me. Then it twitched. He gasped. He ran out to grab them. That's just a reflex. No, it's him. You're talking to a corpse. That night, I heard my mom. He's gone. We need to pull the plug. I tried to move. Then, my shoulder twitched. My dad screamed. He moved. They were silent. If he wakes up, we get nothing. We need to get that paperwork signed.
What? You want your son to die?
They ran out, and I knew I didn't have long. I felt someone tap. But I was still here. Jay came back, tapping about his day. I knew I had to warn him. I squeezed my arm. It felt like concrete. Please, anything. They'll kill me. Then it twitched. He gasped. He ran out to grab them. That's just a reflex. No, it's they ran out, and I knew I didn't have long. I felt someone tap my hand again. Chris, please wake up. They're gonna kill you. I squeezed. I needed a miracle. Then, my fingers moved. I said the first thing I thought of. SOS. Chris, I knew it. He instantly ran out of the room. Guys, he's awake. He's awake. They rushed in. I squeezed their hands. They saw it all. I heard my mom. He's still alive. We can't move him. But I knew what she said. That night, I tapped it all out to my brother as he wrote it down. He couldn't believe it. Then, when I finally opened my eyes, they gasped. My mom hugged me. Honey, you're alive! But I didn't hug her back. The doors opened behind them, and when the cops walked in, my parents looked nervous. What's going on? Can we help you? They were pissed. They slammed them both in handcuffs, and when they looked, Jake was holding...
Wait a second.
Doors opened behind them, and when the cops walked in, my parents looked nervous. What's going on? Can we help you? They were pissed. They slammed them both in
You're saying those are handcuffs? There's nothing even on their hands.
handcuffs, and when they looked, Jake was holding up everything I said. I could barely move my arm, but used all my strength to raise my hand, then my middle finger.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my god.
My twin brother Chris and I were not...
Okay.
I stared down the range at the target with my hands shaking, because if this arrow didn't hit
We
him...
already watched this one. Let's move on to the other.
I was helping the captain steer...
Oh, we watched this one too. Bro, it wasn't even the popular category. Yeah, I hate it.
The flight attendant slipped me a napkin that said, "The pilot isn't who he says he is. Meet me in the back to talk." I knew she chose to tell me because of the military dog tags around my neck. I folded the napkin and slid it into my pocket. And that's when the captain's voice came over the intercom. "Good morning, folks. This is Captain Hopkins, expecting smooth skies to Chicago. But something was wrong. I could feel it in my bones. I waited 2 minutes and casually walked to the back, not knowing what to expect. The flight attendant was there with a man holding up a police badge. The man whispered, "I'm glad you're here. I'm an undercover cop." I knew something was wrong straight away. The flight attendant whispered, "I've flown with Captain Hopkins for 6 years. I don't exactly know what's wrong, but I know that's not Hopkins, and we're flying the wrong way." She showed me the flight map of where we were heading. The plane is heading toward an abandoned airport. I leaned over the map. My body was pumping with adrenaline because it was the perfect place to crash a plane. There's an empty space above the pilot's room. I can climb up and listen to what the pilot and co-pilot are planning through the ceiling. Take my number. If you can tell there's something fishy going on, text me one word, now. That's the signal to move. And to distract everyone while I climbed above the ceiling, the flight attendant made an announcement on the speakers to tell everyone to keep their seatbelts on. Through the cracks, I could hear 2 men in the pilot's room talking. 15 years ago today, our brother died because of Captain Hopkins. Now we get to crash his plane with him tied up on it while we impersonate him. I texted the undercover cop. Now, the cart slammed into the pilot's room door, and the cop kicked it open. I dropped through the ceiling and tackled the fake pilot out of his seat. The cop pinned the co-pilot to the floor. The flight attendant grabbed the radio. "Mayday, our pilot is gone. We need help landing right now." She looked at me. "Find Hopkins, the actual pilot. He has to be on this plane somewhere." I sprinted to the back of the plane, checking every door. I yanked open the closet next to the bathrooms, and Captain Hopkins was inside with his hands tied and tape across his mouth. I ripped the tape off. "Get me to the controls."
Captain Hopkins.
He ran to the front and dropped into the pilot's chair. He grabbed the wheel. "Tower, this is the real Captain Hopkins. I'm landing this plane. When we finally landed, the cops dragged the brothers off in handcuffs. The flight attendant came up to me in the aisle. I pulled the napkin out of my pocket and held it up. "You saved 200 lives with this." She smiled and took it back. The flight attendant...
Okay, this is one of those, like, That's How I Met Your Mother stories. Okay, that's all in the popular category. And I will be saying which category is the best. So currently, I'm not gonna say which one, but...
A teenager tortured my dog for fun,
What?
then threatened to...
If I had a dog and somebody did that to mine... I'm a family-friendly channel. I'm not gonna say it.
do it again. My dog had gone missing for a few hours, and when I
It literally says there search revenge movie scenes.
finally found him, he was standing outside another house in my
so
neighborhood. He was
beaten
covered in
up.
bruises. His eye was swollen
Oh my god, I feel so bad.
shut, and blood was still dripping down his side. The teenager walked out and didn't apologize.
that
He just
teenager
told me to
down.
keep my dog on a leash, or he'd do it
Run that
again. I
teenager
rushed him to the
over with
vet,
your
but he
car.
was too far gone.
kidding.
I had to
That
put him
actually
down
happened
just to
to the
spare him the
teenager.
suffering.
Imagine
That
this
dog
guy just runs over the teenager.
was the only memory I had left of my late wife, Helen.
What? Oh my god, you better run that teenager over.
So I called in a few favors and found out everything about this kid. His
Yes.
school, his job, his girlfriend. He was enrolled at a Catholic private school, and when I told them what he did, they expelled him within the week. His
Expelled.
girlfriend was vegan and an animal lover, so convincing her to break up with him was easy. I sprinkled in a few lies, and she destroyed his car
Let's
for
go.
revenge. Then my friends and I posed as customers at his job and filed complaints until his manager fired him on the spot. His life was
Yes.
gone within days, and as he was walking home
Yes.
after getting fired, I ran him
Oh,
over
he
with my
actually
truck.
ran him. Oh my, yeah, that's just the cherry on top. His story, I can say, he satisfies me a lot.
A teenager tortured my dog for
Oh
fun.
my god. Oh.
The popular girls ranked every guy in our grade
Okay, this is a
by
very-
attractiveness, so I ranked
this
them
is
by
a
weight.
Very different voice.
The popular girls ranked every guy in our grade by attractiveness, so I ranked them by weight. Someone texted me, "Sorry bro," with a link. Every guy in our grade ranked by attractiveness and height. I was a 5. The comment next to my name said, "Average face, below average height, would not recommend." Other comments were worse. Would be cute if he wasn't built like a middle
What is
schooler. The whole thing was
this?
anonymous, but everyone knew who made it. Tiffany and her crew. You couldn't miss Tiffany. Built like Jabba the Hutt stuffed into a Brandy
Oh,
Melville
yeah.
top. But she ran the
What's-
school so nobody
what's
said
this
anything. By the next
animation?
Monday, 3 guys had deleted their socials. One kid, Darnell, stopped coming to school entirely. I saw his
What?
mom picking up
That's
his homework
insane.
from the front office. She looked like she'd been crying. The girls thought it was hilarious. I heard Tiffany in the hallway saying, "It's just a joke. Guys are so sensitive." I tried to do it the right way first. Went to the school counselor and showed her the list. She said she'd look into it and did absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
A week later, the
school
list was
doesn't
still up
say
with more comments being added. Someone ranked Darnell a 1.5 and wrote, "Generous." He still wasn't back at school. I caught Tiffany at her locker between classes. "The list is hurting people. Darnell hasn't been to school in 2 weeks. You need to take it down." She looked at me with this fake pity face. "Aw, are you upset about your little 5? Don't worry, I'm sure someone will settle for you eventually." Her friends howled. I didn't react. "So you'd be okay if someone did the same thing to you?" She laughed. "No one would dare." I nodded. "You're probably right." That night I sat in my room thinking about what would actually get through to her. Words didn't work. Authority didn't work. The only thing Tiffany would understand is feeling exactly what she made everyone else feel. So I opened a Google Doc and started typing. Got the weights from Instagram posts, beach photos, anything public. Estimated where I had to. Spent 3 days on it. Made sure it was brutal. Made sure Tiffany was right at the top. Friday lunch, I dropped the list at exactly noon. Within 10 minutes, it spread to every corner of the cafeteria. Girls were crying,
Yes.
screaming. One girl threw her phone across the room, but I kept my eyes on Tiffany. She was holding court as usual when someone handed her their phone. She squinted at the screen, scrolled. Her smile disappeared. Scrolled more. Her face went red, then purple. She was number 1, 187 pounds. Comment, not even Ozempic could save this one. She stood up so
Lol.
fast, her chair fell over. Her eyes scanned the cafeteria
cry,
until they
cry,
found me.
cry,
I
cry.
waved. She marched over with her whole crew behind her. You think this is funny? This is disgusting. This is body shaming. I'm reporting you. I stayed calm.
Yeah,
Body shaming.
report it.
That's
You're
crazy.
gonna
It's
get
just a
the
joke.
one.
This
You're
isn't a
gonna be
joke.
the one
This is
who's
harassment. Is it? Because when I told you to take your list down, you said it was just a joke. You said guys need to stop being so sensitive. The cafeteria went dead silent. The difference is you ranked guys by height and attractiveness. Things they were born with.
Okay.
Things they can never
His
change.
story,
I ranked by
you cook.
weight. Something anyone can change if they wanted to.
You
For the
cooking
first
with these
time,
stories.
she had nothing to say. Her friends backed away. We both got detention. Someone finally dared. The popular
Yes.
girls ranked every guy in our grade by attractiveness.
go.
So I
Okay, I'm done now. And I'm gonna be saying which one is the best category. I'm gonna be honest. The popular one is the best. Like, damn, these stories are very good. Okay, guys. His story, very good. Go subscribe to him. Just go join his Discord. I've heard his Discord is like very good. So, let's go. Okay, iPhone 17 giveaway every million subscribers. Yeah, you're not doing that. Okay. Addicting stories upload every day. Okay, guys. It's your boy, Adwit. And I'm out.